Hey, what's going on, y'all? So today's video is going to be a little bit different from the rest. So I'm going to be reviewing 2 chapters of One Piece manga, and while at the same time I will be having some gameplay in the back, but I'll be switching between the gameplay and me reading the manga just so I won't have any copyright claims or any issues down for the line. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope y'all enjoy it. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different from the rest. As you can see what's in front of me, we are reviewing One Piece manga chapter 1157 and 1158. So cutting all the chit chat, let's get right into it. Before I get right into it, I already read the chapters, so I'm just gonna review these with y'all. But the thing is, this is my first time reading it from this translation because I'm using Shonen Jump on mobile, and it has a very different translation from this one too. So it's also gonna, not only did I already read it, but I'm gonna reread it again to see what differences there are in this translation. So as we can see from the cover page, we see Yamato and 2 others. I already forgot. I think it's Kiku and Ocho. We see them and it says, he died protecting the village from Kaido, leaving no trace of his body. So we already know who this is, and if you haven't caught up yet with the spoilers, well, there's gonna be spoilers here too, but if you haven't caught up yet, this is none other than Gecko Moria. Gecko Moria is a Kozuki. He is a Kozuki, just like Oden, just like Momonosuke, and there's probably a few others out there I just can't name from the top of my head. But Gecko Moria is a Kozuki member. He is part of the Kozuki clan, so that means he's like cousins with the rest of the characters or something like that, something related, which is really crazy. And I've as a Gecko Moria fan, this is big news, and it's just crazy. It's something that I've never expected. I honestly thought that the mysterious warrior, I thought that it was going to be someone like someone back from Thriller Bark. And it's crazy because it not only was the character from Thriller Bark, but it wasn't the one that we thought. That wasn't the one that I thought. I thought it was gonna be the samurai zombie that Zoro fought. I forgot his name, but we know that warrior hails from Wano, and that their sword, the sword that he had, also hailed from Wano. But we're gonna leave that to the side, and we're gonna continue on with the story. So as we can see here, we see the Rocks Pirates pulling off a heist. I won't be able to show everything, but I'll make sure to show what I can. So we have Ochoku, we have Ganzui, we have Shiki, Big Mom, Don Malone, Barbell. Everybody from the Rocks Pirates is here. Even Napoleon and Zeus, which is pretty cool. We see that the Rocks Pirates doesn't get along well because they're constantly trying to get rid of each other, even in moments like these, even while they're trying to pull off heist. If they can pull it off, they'll try. We see right here, it says, hey Ochoku, lower the lift, we're still down here. He clicks on the transponders now. He says, shut up already. Hey Shiki, oh yeah, I totally forgot about him. He tosses a bomb down to Kaido, Whitebeard, and Kyo. Kyo is also there. It blows up, but they try to seal them in. But before they could seal them in, Kaido responds to that bomb, and he tilts the whole island on its side, and it causes for everybody just go upside down and flip over. Kaido says to Whitebeard, gotta admit it, I'm a bit jealous. I can't do that. Which is crazy because we know that even back then, Kaido was impressed by Whitebeard's feet. His features, not his feet. And we have here Kyo says, who was it? Which one of you tried to ditch us down here? And we have this little funny gag of Ocho pointing up at Shiki, casually trying to flow away. And he says, figured it'd be you, Shiki. Oh, Kyo, thank goodness you survived. I was so worried about you. And look at him with his, I hate and I love him. Look at this face. Oh man, I can't. we have Rocks coming in. He says, what the hell are y'all doing? Everyone move it. I'm gonna kill your ass. You at least keep the treasure safe, right? Of course. And we have John here showing, talking to Rocks. He says, hey Rocks, look at the shore. It's the Navy. We see Rocks, he's laughing and he likes this. He says, wahaha, new challenges have shown up. Hey, knock it off with the infighting. This ain't the time. We should be getting ready to ship off. And I like this. I like this part right here. Whitebeard hears that the Marines are here and he says, that was fast. Did someone leak our plans? So then they get ready to fight and take on the Marines head on. Fight them and take the loot because that's just what they do. And then for the next page, we get this badass narration for the Rocks pirates. Listen to this. In mere 2 years since their formation, the record of the Rocks crew spoke for itself. 16 documented raids, 76 sunken ships, 14 ports reduced to ash, 5 towns wiped off the map, 1 nation brought to ruin. I'm still going. I'm still going. 3 unprecedented violations of Article 18 of international law. And last but not least, 25 criminal records quietly erased. And while the narration happens, we just see the Navy getting destroyed and Rocks just throwing everything. Look, and he just, oh my god. Even with the future pirate king, Gold D. Roger, sailing the seas, it would not be an overstatement to refer this period as the era of Rocks. Gold D. Roger who? I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. Oh my god, my hair is fucking... What the fuck is going on? Better. Alright, and we continue going forward. It says, Enishi, New World. We see King Harlan trying to negotiate with this government ship that's holding prisoners. They're taking the people of this unaffiliated country. They're taking these people into prison. And this is the same people who helped out Elbath. The reason why King Harlan is trying to help out these people from the world government, because these are the same people who helped out Elbath when they were in famine, and they did not ask nothing in return. So of course King Harlan wants to help these people out, but the world government they're just getting in the way of things, and they don't like that Harlan is trying to help out. But King Harlan does so, and they make a newspaper out of it, and they put the headline as King Harlan exposed, Elbath monarch sinks innocent battleship, alliance with the government revealed as a ploy. World Economic Journal headlines. So clearly this was a little play for the world government to pull so they can twist the story and make this little headline and trying to make King Harlan look bad. So then we continue with the next page, and it shows us we're in Elbath. We are at Ida's Tavern, Elbath, and it shows Rocks and King Harlan having a drink. We see that Rocks says, your whole nation should be joining up with me. Come on, Harlan, give it up. I can't stand seeing you grovel to the government anymore. Harlan says, sooner or later, Elbath will become a member of the nation of the world government. Do you think shaving your head was a sign of good faith? Is that a culture thing you got from somewhere? Wahaha. Garp laughed at me too. And it's actually funny because these powerhouses, they look at Harlan and they're like, fuck going on with him? Like, what the fuck? Like, even Garp laughed at him. Garp, that guy hates the top brass. He also be better off as a pirate, says Rocks. And then King Harlan says, they are a massive organization, sure. They have corrupted trash in their ranks, but the Navy is a fine army. The average Marine helps save people on a day-to-day basis. And that is true. I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, I like the Marines. And I think some of them are pretty strong folk. but there is some corrupt in there, just how like the world government is in One Piece. And we see King Harlan say, some of them already come from Elbath, like John Giant. If more of our country warriors followed suit, they could use their boundless strength to really make a difference for people everywhere. Now that's terrifying, says Rox. And the next few panels, I like this little panel because it shows Loki, and this whole time, this is supposed to be a Loki flashback. I can't recall if it was Scalper or Loki telling this flashback, but even so, I like seeing that there's still Loki in the background because he was there when all of this happened, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool in my opinion. It's pretty cool. All right, and we continue to the Navy headquarters, and we have a young Garp, Sengoku, Otsuru, and a Kong. They're talking about how King Harlan is trying to join the world government and how it can be a good thing or how it could be a bad thing. And then we have Garp saying they're fine letting him join the Navy, but that's all, huh? Harlan is an honest man. He's trying to learn from history and change Elbath. There's rumors he's been scouted by Rox, says Otsusoku. If that's true, the Navy might not be able to stand against him. And imagine that if Rox did recruit Harlan, then Rox really was the closest to taking down the world government. Maybe, just maybe, Emu himself, herself, who knows. Alright, on to the next page. We're at Pirate Island. 42 years ago, Hachinosu. We see that everybody's causing a ruckus because they are reading the latest newspaper, and it says, as captain of the Kuja pirates. That means there's no chance we'll run into her at sea anymore. So what's going on is that Shiki, the former empress of Amazon Lily, stepped down from her throne, and we're about to find out why here in a second. So we cut to Big Mom and Gloriosa. Gloriosa says, what are you up to, Shaki? Big Mom, do you reckon she quit so she could chase after a man? Like you did, Gloriosa. Does love always lead to ruin on the island of women? And Gloriosa replies with, like you know anything about pain of love. You crack out kids like popcorn. Which is really funny because she's just casually throwing shots at Big Mom. I couldn't imagine anybody else just doing that. And we also do see Big Mom's kids around here. We see, I think this is Oven, and maybe right next to her on her shoulder, it might be Katakuri. I'm pretty sure that is Katakuri because if you can just look closely, yeah, that looks like a smile. Yeah, that's definitely Katakuri. Anyways, Gloriosa says, I honestly can't imagine her getting love sickness. I'd never forgive her if she went after Roger. We have Stussy and Whitebeard. Stussy says, it's always Shaki this, Shaki that. At least you've only got eyes for me, right, Newgate? I've never been in love with you. What did you just say? I'm the popular sensation, Miss Buckin. Ain't that enough? No, I don't want you. Bro, that is mad crazy, bro. That is mad crazy. Bro has to be maxed out in testosterone for him not to give into the little temptation. So then we see the Kuja pirates arriving at Pirate Island, which is crazy. And the narration says, in Pirate Island's history, this incident is said to rank among the greatest. Even with all that was yet to come, the arrival of the world's most prettiest idol caused a commotion in the hives of murderous fiends. And then we just see everybody bending the knee to Shaki, the world's baddest girl out there in One Piece. It's a goddess. I can die happy. What brings you here, madam? This land is too filthy for you. You mustn't get any further. Shaki says, thanks for the ride, Tritoma. This will do. Yes, ma'am. Take care, Captain. So this is Pirate Island. Tears blur my vision, yet her light still blinds me. Is she real or am I dreaming? Wait a minute, are you joining the Rocks Pirates like Gloriosa? Shaki says, no, I just want to live here for a while. Quitting won't matter to the Marines. They'll just be after me since I was a pirate. So I'm gonna hide here for a while with all of you. You'll protect me, right? And everybody says, of course we will. We'll protect you. We'll protect you with all of our lives. Shaki says, this place smell. We'll clean it up right away. I want to open a store. We'll build one for you. Let's get some flowers for her. And then we have the one and only Rox coming up. He says, hey, what's all the noise? Why are you rats making such a racket? And we see a couple of goons. They say, the Rox crew is back. This is bad. Don't blame her, Captain. This was our idea. This was our doing. Rox is surprised and he says, huh? What is she doing here? And we see this beautiful, oh my goodness, bro. I don't know what it is with Oro and legs, but those legs are looking mad fine right now. We see the narration box and it says, the pirate island of Hachinosu was abuzz with excitement. Shaki's ripoff bar had finally opened. They say the wait just to get in would take over a month. Not only do you have to wait a month on the waiting list to get in here, but once you get in here, Shaki is probably not going to serve you drinks. Just wait until you see this next panel. Just wait until you see this next panel. We see Shaki and she says, welcome, I'm so happy to see you. You'll be the first customer. Would you like a drink? She's an angel! Shakuyaku was like a flower blooming in a dry wasteland. Her very presence enrich the island. We see everybody from the Rox crew just hard eyes over Shaki to Darmalone, Rox, Newgate, Shiki, John, Kyo, and most likely what's his face? Ganzui, the dude with the big armor. Most likely him too. So further on it says the inhabitants of Hachinosu came to cover her as a treasure, an irreplaceable crown jewel. Unfortunately, a treasure is always the inevitable target of a thief. That is going to foreshadow, I think it's 11:59 that it's going to give us what happened. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. We're still going to be here to read it. So let's continue. We are at Marijois, Room of Authority, Mary goes saying, and we see one of the 5 elders. They are saying, very well, relay this to Harland. We shall accept Elbath's admission into the world government on one condition. The warrior of Elbath must kill Rox. That's what it would take for Harland to gain admission. Killing Rox. It's not something that I saw happening. So will Harland kill off Rox to join the world government? Honestly, so basically, you have to slime your day one to join the government. To start off, join the world government. That's a big no-no already. But obviously Harland, he's just a big numbskull. He doesn't know much, and just because he wants to turn a new leaf, he's trying to do whatever he can and the best he can to give Elbath admission to the world government. But we continue with the next chapter, and it's titled Rox vs. Harland. One Piece manga chapter 1158, and we have the cover story right here with us, and it shows the 3 girls at Kozuki Moriya's grave, and it literally says, it's engraved right there, Kozuki Moriya. I cannot wait until these characters from Wano are introduced to the Pirate of Justice, is what they calling him. This is crazy because what do you mean Gecko Moria is the Pirate of Justice in the land of Wano? That is crazy because, okay, this is a theory. Off of the top of my head, this is how it goes. While Odin was dancing in the streets of Wano, at the same time, it is theorized that Gecko Moria was out there fighting Kaido. If you don't remember, there was a scene showing the Beast Pirates. I think that's what Kaido's Pirates crew is. It shows Kaido's crew and Kozuki Moriya's crew fighting in their prime. Now, I think this takes place right after God Valley, and people are theorizing Kaido killed off all of Gecko Moriya's crew, and I think that's what made him turn into this this experimenting, body taking, graveyard robbing guy, to where he just takes corpse and turns them into zombies, because he doesn't want his crew to die anymore, so he just turns them into zombies. And to further push this theory, Gecko Moria could possibly be able to read the poneglyphs, and because of this, people are theorizing that he is going to join the cross guild because now Buggy wants to go for the One Piece. And how can you go for the One Piece without having somebody in your crew who's able to read the poneglyphs? Roger had Odin, Luffy has Robin. So what could cross guild use or have in their inventory? Kozuki Moria. The people of Wano were the ones who were carving the poneglyphs. It could be possible for Moria to be able to read the poneglyphs, but we're gonna find that out further down the line. That does it for the cover story. Now let's continue with the rest. And we cut to a narration, and it says, a certain sea, Roger's ship, the Oro Jackson, in the age of the legendary pirates. Captain Roger, I heard Shaki opened up a place on Pirate Island. They say it's unbelievable. We worried we'd never see her again when she quit being Empress. But now we know where she is. Let's go. Doesn't Rox control Pirate Island? And we see Scopper and Rayleigh having a little moment, and Scopper tells Rayleigh, say, Rayleigh, is it just me, or has Roger been in a bad mood ever since you two spoke in his quarters? And we see a quick flashback of what happened. So before I show you this, just take a look at Roger. Just look how pissed he is. Like, it's rare to see someone jolly as Roger, the Pirate King, the future Pirate King actually. It's rare to see somebody like this. Let's find out why. We have Rayleigh and Roger in the captain's quarters, and Rayleigh tells Roger, I wasn't gonna say anything to the crew, but I figured I should talk to you one-on-one, Roger. Was this during our last fight with the Kuja pirates before she quit? Roger says, Shakuyaku did seem off back then, like she was sick or something. I worried she stepped down because of her health. But you're telling me she gave you this during the battle? Yeah, I was speechless. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. If the world's baddest bitch gives you this note, oh my god, any other man would race to temptation. The note that Shaki gave Rayleigh, the baddest bitch in One Piece. The note says, come and make me yours, Shakuyaku. If the world's baddest girl came up to me and gave me that letter, oh my gosh, you best believe I'm going sicko mode, bruh. Roger says, and you're not interested? I'd be lying if I said that. I just don't want to be tied down, you know? Fucking Rayleigh. Not only does this dude not want to be tied down, but we have another character that's filled with maximum testosterone, dude. And we just see Roger tweaking out on Rayleigh. He says, well, I do. Well, I want to be tied down by Shaki. And in the next panel, we see, come on, man. I ain't giving up. Huh? You were energetic all of a sudden, Roger. And we see Rayleigh smiling because of this recent flashback that they had in the captain's quarters. Pirates live to plunder, and we don't stop till the prize is claimed. Ain't that right, fellas? So they're heading to Pirate Island to go for Shaki, or at least to go visit her, right? So then we cut to Marijoa. Their narration box says, sometime later, 40 years ago, the Holy Land, Mari Goesei. We see Figurlin Garling, and he's talking to the elder, the 5 elder. It says, you are impatient, Garling. The previous competition just ended. Garling says, I'm aware. But while we were completing another assignment, we briefly stopped at this island. It's a non-affiliated state, but it has quite unique culture. We tried offering them membership in the world government, but they declined. I really wonder if this is true. Did you really, or did you like scope out the scene and maybe like ask a few questions around and then dipped whenever they find out? They were like, oh yeah, y'all are dead. Y'all are coming with us. Or did they really negotiate? And who did they negotiate with? You know, like, did they negotiate with the elder there, or like, you know, the main leader there or something? Who knows? But it says, while their abundant resources would certainly prove valuable for us, we just made a outrageous discovery, Garling says. It was completely unexpected find. And the Great One will certainly be pleased with it. In 2 years' time, I strongly urge you to hold the next hunt at God Valley. Yes, you heard me right, folks. God Valley. The infamous God Valley that we got like at least nearly 300, 400 chapters ago. We're finally getting into God Valley. Finally. Back then when we heard about God Valley, we were at Navy headquarters. Oh, actually, I remember what happened. Kaido and Big Mom teamed up at Wano, and everybody at Navy headquarters were scared because they were like, oh man, does this mean the Rocks Pirates are coming back and forming again? And I remember Sengoku telling everybody to calm down. He was like, no, calm down. The God Valley incident happened so long ago, and the island disappeared, and Rocks disappeared with it too. So that same God Valley, we are reading the flashback leading to God Valley. We are reading a planned genocide 2 years prior. A whole civilization, a whole country is about to go extinguished, and they don't know it yet, which is crazy. Also, I want to add this little bit. Earlier in one of the chapters in Elbath, we saw that it said a child is a parent's weakness. And we are gonna see something crazy in 1159, and I can't wait to show y'all what it is. So we continue to Pirate Island, and Shaki's bar is filled, obviously, because the line takes a whole month for you to get in. Get in a single file line, you idiots. What? It is that much? I don't have that kind of money. Come to the back. You can work it off within 2 years, unpaid labor. What? So yeah, if you don't have money and you still want to get in this bar, just come around the back and work 2 years of free labor, unpaid. Yeah, and you can get in the bar. I don't know who in the right mind is doing that, but certainly there is somebody doing that because they want to see Shaki that bad. Just to see here is a task alone that you have to work for. We see Shaki at the bar, and she's giving a drink to Rocks. I don't know who yells this out, but they say, 3 cheers for our host's poor service. What happened, Rocks? I'm kind of sad that satisfied grin isn't for me anymore. And we see Big Mom laughing with her iconic laugh. Mama. See, a woman's institution isn't a scary thing, huh? Shut up, I said it's none of your business. Oh, I just realized what's going on here. I think around this time, Rocks is having a kid, and I just realized that's what that is here. Because we see Stussy, she's wondering why Rocks is grinning so much. She says, it has to be a woman. That guy is grinning like he's expecting a kid. Which, if you can't connect the dots by now, is what's going on with Rocks. He's having a kid. And we'll see that in 1159. And we have Roger bursting in the doors of Shaki's bar. He says, Shaki, I've come for you. Shaki-chan, says Scopper. It's me. Wow, it's the Roger Pirates. Get a picture. I like that. And Rocks gets up in Roger's face. He says, Roger, how many times do I gotta tell you that this is my island? Roger says, didn't you hear? Fighting at Shaki's bar is forbidden, so stuff it in, you porcupine. Rock says, isn't there a huge line out there? How'd you get in? Did you wait it? And clearly we see that Roger did not wait. He beat the living crap out of him. Roger says, there was a line? Haha, I hardly noticed. Drink up, everyone. And Whitebeard exits the bar. He says, I can't stand those guys. They're so noisy. Put it on Newgate's tab. Nah, leave it on Rocks. Bro, no, I personally think Roger's crew should be stacked. So we cut to the next page, and we see Shaki going up to Roger, and she's asking, where is Rayleigh-san? And Roger says, I told him to come, but he said he wasn't feeling well, so he's napping on the ship. And then we cut to Gloriosa jumping on Roger ecstatically. She's happy to see him. Gloriosa says, it's that you, Roger? I was waiting to see you again so badly. Now let me on your ship. Roger says, I told you no, I'm not into lovey-dovey women who throws themselves at me. But if Shaggy asked to be, it'd be different. It makes no sense. But since Rayleigh didn't come, Shaggy says, I'll pass. And we see Roger having a little inner monologue. He says, damn it, Rayleigh, why didn't you come? Roger tries to play it off and he says, yo, isn't Newgate still here? I want to drink with him. He left, ma. Big Mom says while she's laughing. So moving forward, we have a narration and it says, Shakuyaku's rules ensured that anyone coming to the island to visit her establishment would be granted safe passage. Even the fiercest of pirates would keep the peace if they crossed path. That is crazy, and that is in a way that is also very wholesome, because what do you mean even the most fiercest pirates would keep the peace crossing pass here? I mean, I would get it, right? Because it's Shaggy's bar, you know, the most beautiful woman. You don't wanna ruin your aura around her. And the narration continues. Back at the sea, all belts were off, and it shows a badass clash with Rox and Harland, and they're arguing, they're fighting, and their clash is so epic. It reminds me of when Odin was clashing with Roger and when Roger was clashing with Newgate. This is exactly what it reminds me of. Also, we have a lot of Black Lightning. Clearly, these two are very strong individuals. We see Rox and Harlan arguing. Rox yells at Harlan, the government's really got y'all wrapped around their fingers. I was torn, says Harlan. Rox says, this is really something worth killing your friend over? And in the end, y'all just bow down to them. Dumbasses, you're being their tool. Is this their answer? They see you giants as nothing but military assets. You will all be enslaved as soldiers. What happened to your warrior pride? Don't you have your own will? And Harlan slashes at Rox's back. He says, quit talking like you know everything. Our warriors created a history of violence. Elbath is shackled by it, held back from achieving true peace. We see this panel as a little flashback of Harlan trying to negotiate with this one country. And it says, you seem to have a good heart, Harlan, but a long time ago, this country was attacked by giants. That kind of fear doesn't fade so easily. Sorry. Which is sad to see, because we see Harlan really trying to turn a new leaf and trying to convince everybody around him that they've changed and they want nothing but peace. We even see that he tries to do so by first off shaving his head, and then he shaves his head bald, and then later on, maybe after the God Valley incident, we'll see King Harlan ripping off his own horns. So then Harlan continues talking to Rox. He says, listen Rox, no matter how foolish the Celestial Dragons may be, they still have the influence in the world to bring Elbath into the loop. Stop it, you coward rat, says Rox. Rox is just so over this. He's so mad. He says, consider our business closed. You won't be getting another invite from me again. I am a king, Harlan says. I can't throw away my people's lives by following a villain like you into a losing battle. That is where their argument concludes. We have a narration and it says, there was no true conclusion, but this unorthodox friendship has come to an end. The two would never meet again for some time, until the day of a certain incident. And then again, we have a few panels shows Loki, and he's reading the newspaper. He's trying to find more things about Rox. And then we see Ida in the background. He's yelling at Loki. He says, he isn't coming back, Loki. Shut up, you old hag, says Loki. Would you like some juice? And Loki's like, alright, because he's still a little kid. This reminds me a lot of when the early days of One Piece where Luffy was in the bar with Shanks and Shanks offers Luffy some juice. So coming to the end of 1158, we see the exterior of God Valley. Their narration box says 39 years ago, West Blue. God Valley was in the West Blue. Wow. Aw, 2 twin boys. They're so cute and they've got your red hair. I hope that they grow up to be as bright as you. Don't worry, we'll pitch in since their daddy is away. Thank you, mister. Have you settled on their names? And these 2 twin boys are none other than Shanks and Shamrock. Shanks and Shamrock, they were born in God Valley. Wow, that is some news. Honestly, that is very exciting news. That's where we close off today's video. If you stuck around to the end, thank you very much, and I hope you liked it. Leave a like and a comment, and maybe consider subscribing, because I want to continue doing this. I want to continue doing this, and I want to continue posting this. So without further ado, until next time, see ya.